Okay, I'm here at Two Lantern Games booth with Brent Povis, and we're going to talk about Morels. Hi, Brent.
Hi, howdy.
Can you give us a little bit of a quick overview on the game?
I can. Morels is a two-player card game. It takes about 30 minutes to play.
Okay.
It's set collection and hand management. And over the course of the game, you're going to be walking in the woods. The game is designed to feel like a hike. You're going to be collecting mushrooms and cooking them up to score victory points.
All right.
So basically the way the game progresses is you each start with a hand of 3 cards. It gets you rolling. You can see that there are lots of different types of mushrooms in the game. Each mushroom has its own unique value pairing. So we'll look at a really tasty one here, the chanterelle. If you look up in the corner there, you see there's a value under the pan. That's its value for cooking. There's also a value under the hiking stick, and that's its value if you sell it to local aficionados who give you the inside scoop on the hot spots in the woods. Basically, if you sell, you're going to get the foraging sticks. And with those, or hiking sticks, you can walk beyond your standard options, and it's going to open up additional choices in the forest. The forest is these 8 cards here, and that's where you'll be drafting cards from to build your hand, to build your sets, and so on. So on your turn, you have 5 options for what you can do. We like games where there's a little bit of tension derived from wanting to do more than you can. So you'll either take a card from the forest, either the 2 that are at your feet, or you could go beyond the ones at your feet if you have the hiking sticks. Take all the cards in the decay. That's going to be a temporary discard pile that builds on the side. Cook 3 or more like mushrooms, sell 2 or more like mushrooms, play down an empty pan. So a lot of the intrigue and strategy of the game derives from what to do with these mushroom cards that are dual value. Do you sell them to get power to in turn collect mushrooms later in the game, which might even be better than the ones that you sold? Or do you hold on to them a little bit and try to cook them to score victory points towards winning the game? So it's maintaining that balance. And there are a number of other elements in the game in terms of whether to play defense or offense and how to best do that. You can control the pace of the hike a little bit.
Gotcha.
Keep things out of your opponent's reach. So yeah, plenty going on. We wanted a game that was strategic but not overwhelming. A game that you could have a glass of wine or a beer with, or kick back and not have to think too hard about. But the more you think about, the better you play.
Awesome. So these are the components here that you get with the sort of the regular edition, and then you got your handcrafted pieces.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. Great.
Handcrafted pieces are a limited time thing. I just did those basically for the launch of the game here for our first few months as a company. So those will still be available for a little while longer.
So do the ones at the end over there, do they decay at the end of the round? And
yeah, the way it works is, for instance, with your hand there, you've got a tree ear and a shiitake in your hand. So this is actually a nice match for you to start building a set.
Gotcha.
So if you were to take the tree ear, one of the 2 at your feet, whatever card is farthest to this end is going to decay over to that temporary discard.
Gotcha.
And then we slide cards down, and that creates the evolution of the walk in the woods. I take a card, one scrolls off, these come down, and so on. One of the options being to take the decay. That can be really nice because it's like multiple turns at once, but you have a hand limit you're working within.
Gotcha.
You start with an 8-card hand limit. It can be expanded a little bit through the use of vastness, but you don't want to clutter your hand with cards that are mismatched and not going to further your strategy. So there's a whole sub-game around managing the decay.
Okay. Cool, well thanks.